Hello and welcome to Who's Who at EMU. I'm Shannon Smith and we have a huge show planned out today. Who's Who correspondent Zachary Badgerhouse talks with students to gauge their reaction on some of the current events on campus. And here to talk about his role in student government and the course of the country, we have Student Governor Senator Sam Jones-Darling. This is Who's Who in EMU. Let's get started. Now, as most of you know, this country is about a month away from one of the biggest showdowns in recent history. Bigger than Taylor Swift versus Katy Perry, bigger than Taylor Swift versus Kanye and Kim K, bigger than Taylor Swift versus actual music. Yes, we're talking about Hillary Clinton versus Donald Duck. Wait, I think the teleprompter's wrong. Isn't that supposed to say Donald Trump? Whatever, you gotta admit it though, it would be pretty funny hearing Hillary debate with a duck with a lisp. Last week held one of the biggest moments for both candidates as they stepped in their ring to face each other for the first time. And oh, they did not disappoint. Averaging 84 million viewers, this was the most watched debate on television ever. If last Monday was any indication, there is really only one candidate that has the poise, the temperament, and stamina to be president. It's Hillary.
Wrong. Wrong.
What are you doing?
I'm just sending a tweet about how women should be paid less because they're an inconvenience to their employers when they're pregnant.
You think pregnancy is an inconvenience for employers?
I never said that. Anyways, I am sick and tired of the liberal media coming after Donald Trump and his supporters. He clearly won the debate and will be the ruler of these 50 states.
Why is that, Sarah?
Look, Donald Trump has the looks, he has the temperament, he has the stamina, and he has the health.
Just not the hands, right?
Would you just... I had to cancel my lunch date with Tommy Lauren to be here. This is my show now, and maybe now you'll get more than 9 views on YouTube. Donald Trump will be one of the greatest leaders in history 20 years from now. We'll look back at Trump and compare him to some of the greats. Ivan Terrible, Mussolini, Fidel Castro, Napoleon Dynamite.
I mean Bonaparte?
Shut up! Friggin' liberals. Where was I? Oh yeah. Kim Jong-un, Joseph Stalin,
Okay, stop.
Adolf... I'm not saying what they did was great, I'm just saying everybody loved them and they were great leaders.
That's because they controlled the media, or they killed anyone who disagreed.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Can we just get back to the debate?
Right, the debate. Look, no one really watches those things anyways. Besides, it cut into Monday Night Football and the NFL sent Trump numerous letters asking for the time to be changed.
Actually, that's not true. I mean, yes, Donald Trump did say that the NFL tried telling him how ridiculous it is that there was a debate during football, but the NFL quickly denied sending any letter.
Who cares? All that matters is what was actually said during the debate.
Sarah, you're right. So let's bring up the fact that Trump admitted that he was smart for not paying federal taxes.
Wrong.
Or the fact that every presidential candidate, up until Trump, has released their tax forms.
Donald doesn't have to release his tax forms until Hillary walks around on her hands reciting the alphabet backwards, but she's too busy using her hands to empty her Gmail inbox.
What about the fact that Trump said that he would cut taxes from 35% to 15% for small and big businesses alike? You know, kind of like the same big business Trump owns?
Wrong, wrong, wrong.
How am I wrong, Sarah?
All you people do is twist Trump's words around on him to make him look like the bad guy, so maybe people will overlook the 33,000 emails that Hillary deleted while she was Secretary of State. And don't even get me started on NAFTA, the same NAFTA that shipped all of our production jobs out of America. And because of Hillary's screw-up, it's going to be really hard to get those jobs back after Donald built his wall.
You mean the NAFTA that Bill Clinton signed while Hillary was the first lady and had no actual influence on it?
Well, yeah.
The same NAFTA that Donald Trump has been profiting off for years?
Well, yeah, he's a businessman first. If it's legal, he'll do it. Whether it's moral or not is irrelevant.
No, you see, it is relevant because Donald Trump is promising to stop the things he's doing because it's wrong, but he won't stop doing it because it'll still be legal under Trump. He won't bring jobs back. To think that is stupid. He's just going to find more ways to outsource jobs so him and his 1% buddies can get more money.
You're lying.
Speaking of lying, what about his backtracking on the birther movement that wasn't Obama?
All he's saying is that it's a little suspicious, you know.
No, please tell me.
Well, Shannon, many people are saying.
Are you sure it isn't because he's black?
No, Shannon, listen. He loves black people. He wants them to win, and he can lead them to win. Unlike Obama, he's black. All he did was create an even bigger racial divide in this country. I mean, the only reason he won was because of his skin color. That's racist against white people. We need winners, Shannon, not racists.
Do you even know how racist this statement is? To think that every black person voted based on skin color is asinine. Using that logic, Hillary should be debating Ben Carson and not Trump. To think that African Americans only care about race is like saying all Donald cares about is bad tanning beds. I'll humor you, Sarah. How will Trump fix the racial divide?
Great question, Shannon. It's an easy fix. So simple. Before you psycho PC liberals took away all the fun rules, we need law and order. You heard it here first. We need Ice-T from Law and Order to stop and frisk people. That's how we stop bad guys with guns. And we have to get guns away from the bad people. If these bad people could be stopped before they commit a crime, then they wouldn't make the rest of the black people look bad.
So in order to heal the racial tension in America, we have to reinstate stop and frisk. In 2011, when stop and frisk was as prevalent as the dab is now, almost 700,000 people were stopped in 1 year. 88% of these stops, nothing was found. 605,000 people were in New York, were stopped, harassed by police, and still nothing was found on them. According to New York City Police Department from 2004 to mid-2012, the police stopped 4.4 million people. 87% of them were black or Latino.
Yeah, sure. A million of these innocent people were harassed, and sure, most of them were black or Latino, but never mind that. According to your stats, Miss Liberal, that means that 95,000 people were stopped because they actually had illegal stuff, and boom, taken off the street.
I'm not saying that stop and frisk wasn't successful. What I'm saying is that when police stop and frisk people in a certain community, they have an increased distrust in the police, which in turn adds to a rise in crime. Don't believe me? There was a Yale-Columbia study done that found exactly that. Could you imagine walking to biology class or Tower Inn and a police officer stops you because you look suspicious? That's insanity. This isn't a police state.
Well, there's no need to get so hostile, Shannon. I don't mean to build a wall between us. I'm a bleeding liberal myself. I only wore this ridiculous wig and acted like this because the producer thought it was funny and wanted to make a point. I'm gonna go wash the orange off of my face. Catch you later.
What is happening to this show? We'll be right back.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. Pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.
Looking, there's no tally light.
In a not-so-safe place. In doing so, you're putting your online accounts and data in danger of being compromised. The Eagle security package includes LastPass, an encrypted online password vault that can store all your usernames, passwords, and other personal information in one location. LastPass secures your login credentials using one master password, the last password you'll have to remember. Not only does LastPass store your login credentials, but it can automatically fill them in when you're logging into trusted websites. LastPass can also aid in the creation of strong, unique passwords and secure sensitive data such as addresses, credit cards, and personal notes. Since LastPass is encrypted and protected in the cloud, it's accessible wherever you are, through the LastPass website, a web browser extension, or the mobile app. LastPass makes password security easy. For more information about LastPass, visit tiny.emich.edu/LastPass.
Welcome back to to Who's Who. Our main story revolves around everyone's favorite cringe-worthy word, racism. Wait, you thought I was going to say some moist, didn't you? That word is so weird. Moist, moist, moist. Anyway, over the past few months, Black Lives Matter protests have received widespread coverage. Here's where we'd show you a couple of clips of Fox News depicting black people rioting and looting in North Carolina, then a scene from ABC interview with GOP Representative Robert Pittenger, where he says, and this is 100% true, the grievance in the protesters' mind, the animus, the anger, the hate, white people because they are successful and black people are not. Let's entertain this idea for a second. Black people aren't as successful as white people. Why on earth could that be? Could it be that white people have been profiting off black labor since the country's conception? Or could it be that redlining and separate but equal laws kept blacks in a revolving door of crime, poverty because they were considered second-rate citizens? Or could it be that the school system receives majority of their funding from property taxes? So if you live in a poor neighborhood, the ghetto, then you're more likely to get the same level of education as Susie growing up in Northville. Please don't misconstrue me as blaming little Susie for the overwhelming problems facing the African American community. I'm blaming the system in which little Destiny has to work her life away just to have the chance that maybe, just maybe, little Destiny's grandchildren will get the same benefits as little Susie does right now. Our very own Who's Who correspondent, Zachary Badgerhouse, took to the streets of Eastern to talk about the current events facing our country.
What a time to be alive. The iPhone 7 just came out. We have a woman running in office for a presidential race. Everything's been great. However, there's been an ongoing issue in this country, racial violence. We're here on campus to find out how students feel and to get their reaction to some of the ongoing issues and some of the incidents that have taken place in this country. We are in the Commons where Eastern Michigan students have a decent meal. I'm here with Josh. How you doing, Josh?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All right, I'm doing all right. What year are you, Josh?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore? All right, so are you aware of the racial graffiti that has taken place on campus last week? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, and what is your reaction to that?
Well, obviously, I'm horrified and disgusted that kind of sentiment even still exists. And I just want to personally express support and solidarity for our black students.
When something like this happens, it's like it puts all that hard work and puts everyone back to step one in a way, and it's frustrating.
I was kind of appalled. I mean, I wasn't really expecting anything like that to happen, especially here. It's not something that should be celebrated. It's extremely wrong, and I was kind of in disbelief when I first heard about it.
Yeah, it was actually weird how it happened. I was walking outside a Ford Hall, and it was awkward because we just got done watching Fruitvale Station, which addresses police brutality. And then right when I got out, I see a whole large group of people just protesting. And then later on that day, we had to start a lecture about justice in America. So that whole day was eventful and very saddening.
I think that it's important to figure out who did it, whether it be just some dumb kids or if it actually be somebody who has those type of feelings. I think it's important to figure out who it is, because I think it's important that, everybody feels safe on campus.
It's so easy to want to fight hate with hate, but that never works. You have to fight hate with love, and that's how everyone should be. We need more love,
Yeah.
We need to love each other for who we are, not what we look like or
the color of your skin.
Yeah.
All right.
Martin Luther King said, judge people on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. I think that's a great quote that I use. I like.
In the reaction to that, there was a protest on campus. Well, not on campus, but at the football game last week. What were your thoughts on that? People getting their voices and letting them be heard.
I think it's great. It's nice seeing people using their First Amendment right to let their voices be heard. It's a shame that something bad has to happen to bring people together, but it was nice seeing all the students coming out and letting their voices be heard, and it makes a difference on campus. It makes an impact.
Okay, so at North Dakota University, there was 3 white girls, and they locked the black girl in her dorm room, and they took her phone. And What are your thoughts on that type of incident? You know, you're a black woman, and how would you feel in regards to something like that happening to you?
I'd be pissed off, if I could say that. I would just find it ridiculous, you know, as I'm sitting there, you know, locked up, like, wow, they just did this just because they have a different skin color than they do. They're just mad at the melanin. That's just all I gotta say. They're mad at the melanin. They're just mad. It's okay.
Again, it's frustrating to see these kinds of things playing out over and over again, but it's not something that we should let ourselves become desensitized to. Every incident is major, is significant, and it just punctuates the fact that we need to continue fighting for equality and for an end to discrimination.
Okay. Well, thanks, Josh.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate your time.
I like.
All right. Thanks, Chili. I appreciate that, man. All right. All right. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.
That was Zachary Badgerhouse. We'll be right back.
True EMU.
We are true EMU. I'll be right back. I told myself I'm just going to grab a quick drink. 2 minutes later, and everything was gone. My backpack, my laptop, my cell phone, my iPod. 2 minutes was all it took. I was lucky. The thief was eventually caught and I got it all back. But now that I had that happen to me, I realized that anything valuable has to be treated like cash. I'll never leave it out of my side again. My name is Heather, and I'm trying to be safe.
Welcome back. Here to talk about the importance of student government, we have Student Body Senator Sam Jones-Darling. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Shannon.
Okay, so what is Student Body Senator? What is your title?
Well, really being a student body senator is what you make of it. But for me, it's really about helping students and making sure that that connection between the students and the administration is there.
Okay, how long have you been in this role?
I've been in it since September 22nd of 2015, so about a year now.
Very nice. And are you a political science major?
I am a political science major.
Oh, okay, very nice, very nice. So what do you plan to do in the future with your major?
Well, I really want to go into public policy. I believe that ultimately at the heart of our society is a good public policy, and that means ensuring that education, health policy are there and it's functioning for people.
Very well. So as far as here on campus, what have you kind of accomplished over your time of being here?
Yeah, so while I've been here, over the year I've been here, we've worked on a lot of really major issues. Two of the biggest points of pride for me, though, are our wait time for our HIV testing used to be 2 weeks. That's now down to about 20 minutes due to rapid HIV testing.
Okay.
And
does that go on at Snow Health Center?
That does happen at Snow Health Center.
Is that free?
It is free,
All right,
100%.
get tested.
You can get tested. And one of the things we know is that between the age group of 16 to 25, that is the highest HIV transmission rate according to the CDC. And so it's very important for college students, especially when we know the statistics about other STIs that we get tested.
How did you get involved with that? Is that something you've kind of always been standing for, practicing safe sex, getting tested?
It's something that I've really been doing since about 19. I'm 22 now, almost 23. And so it's really something that's important to me. I work really closely with the Michigan Department of Education and other health officials in the state on that. But another thing that's very important to me that's also saved lives here in the Ypsilanti and our greater university community is supplying naloxone to our Department of Public Safety. So each officer that patrols our streets carries naloxone, which is a drug that is an opiate antigen, meaning that it can revert the effects of an opiate overdose.
Oh.
So when there's a call out to have somebody that has that antigen, it's ready and it's there, and our police officers know how to administer it. And to my understanding, it's already saved multiple lives.
So is this when a student is like getting a call because they've overdosed on a drug?
Yeah, so say we have a very large heroin epidemic in Washtenaw County, and
Wow.
so if someone's overdosing on heroin, this opiate antigen can get them that time that they need to get to the hospital and get that medical care.
And so now on Eastern's campus, our officers, you're saying,
Yes.
can carry this
Our
now?
officers
Okay.
have it, they are trained to use it, and thankfully, to my understanding, we haven't had anything on campus,
Thank
but
God.
we have had some in the community where they've assisted Ypsilanti police, and it has been a lifesaver.
Is
literally.
it a shot? Is it a...
Some
pill?
are nasal, some are shots.
Okay, so could be painful if you're scared of needles.
Well, you wouldn't know about it.
I don't want
but
to
you
find out. I don't think I will find out
you
ever.
would sure know it saved your life.
Yeah, okay, for sure. So let's talk about this upcoming election.
That's a fun topic.
What did you think of the debate?
It was between dramatic theater and comedy show.
See, a lot of people say it was really bad. I personally thought Hillary did seem prepared, but I mean, you're in the major, you study this. Why are people saying it was so terrible?
Well, along with my tag as a student body senator, I'm also the president of the College Democrats here on campus.
Okay.
And I would have to say that Trump's debate performance was trumped up, to use a line from Secretary Clinton. You know, it's amazing to me. The New York Times actually just came out with an article that said they obtained 1995 tax returns from Donald Trump, and it seems that he might not have been paying federal taxes for 2 decades. If one of us did that, we would be in prison right now.
Federal prison for life.
We would
Yeah.
be in federal prison. We'd be paying back taxes to the government for a while. Think about eliminating the IRS. You would be in front of a federal judge.
So can I say it's safe to say you'll be voting for Hillary November 8th?
It's absolutely definite. I highly encourage, if you are going to vote, let's vote for a person that's not driven world leaders crazy.
Right. I'm totally Team Hillary too. Not because she's a woman, but because I think she's ready for the presidency. So
We obviously know which one's the most qualified candidate.
she has the stamina. Would you say she has the stamina to do this?
I would say she has the stamina, and she could keep Bill in check. I can imagine she's going to keep Kim Jong-un in check.
Well, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In today's cyber world, the number of passwords you have to remember can be overwhelming. While it may be tempting to reuse the same passwords, or store them in a not-so-safe place. In doing so, you're putting your online accounts and data in danger of being compromised. The Eagle security package includes LastPass, an encrypted online password vault that can store all your usernames, passwords, and other personal information in one location. LastPass secures your login credentials using one master password, the last password you'll have to remember. Not only does LastPass store your login credentials, but it can automatically fill them in when you're logging into trusted websites. LastPass can also aid in the creation of strong, unique passwords and secure sensitive data such as addresses, credit cards, and personal notes. Since LastPass is encrypted and protected in the cloud, it's accessible wherever you are, through the LastPass website, a web browser extension, or the mobile app. LastPass makes password security easy. For more information about LastPass, visit tiny.emich.edu/LastPass.
A typical day will start for the delivery staff because they are central to what we do. Our delivery staff gets here at about 9:30 in the morning. They get their route for the day. Then they prep their vehicle, they clean it out, make sure it's ready to go. They get their hot boxes all set and ready. Valley Food Services, who is our commissary for our food preparation, will come to Meals on Wheels between 9:45 and 10 a.m. They get here, we count out the meals, we temp them to make sure they're at the appropriate heat. Then they section them out and count, make sure we have the exact number of meals we need, and then they get the sides that go along with the hot entrees, and they have that bag and they put that in a cooler, and then they load that into their vehicle. Then they do their exit checkout, and then they're ready to go on their route. So typically they're out of here no later than 10:15, 10:30. Then they start their deliveries, and it takes them about 2 to 2.5 hours to make those deliveries. So for myself and our office staff, I typically get here about 8:30 to open the office. We check our messages. Then we also do some prep work for the the routes. If there needs to be some logistical changes for routing, we try to do that. Typically, I start by answering emails from volunteers and from our funders, and then my work kind of starts into doing some grant writing and who I have to go meet with today, if I have to meet with a funder or a partner program. And then Carrie does a lot more of the office work as well. So between our primary hours, Carrie will also probably do anywhere between 1 and 3 intake calls for clients who might need to get on our program. So she does that, and it takes roughly about an hour to do that over the phone with a client. She'll kind of help with all the paperwork that we have to file from a state level, sets up appointments for our nursing staff and nursing students to go out and do health assessments for the clients on a daily basis. And then she also just kind of maintains the facility to make sure the upkeep is going well.
Welcome back. That was our show. Thanks so much for watching. Did you miss any part of our show? Check us out on our YouTube channel or the Facebook at ETV at EMU. Have a great week, Eagles.